Hi everyone. Since we're in 2026, I want to walk you through some important retirement plan changes that you need to know. Today I'm going to be covering the 2026 deferral limits, the catch-up limits, the super catch-up limits that started under the Secure Point 2 Act, and the big rule change in 2026 for high earners involving Roth contributions, also under the Secure 2.0 Act. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the basic deferral limits. These are the amounts that you're allowed to contribute to your employer's retirement plans, like a 401k or a 403b plan. For 2026, the IRS increased the deferral limit to $24,500. And this applies whether you're contributing pre-tax, Roth, or a combination of both. So if you're under 50, this is the maximum that you can contribute for the year. Next, let's look at catch-up contributions. So what are catch-up contributions? These are extra savings opportunities for people 50 and older to accelerate retirement savings if they're catching up. They're allowed to contribute extra money on top of the regular deferral limit. So if you're 50 or older, you could contribute an extra $8,000 in 2026 on top of the $24,500 base deferral limit. If you're 50 or older, your total contributions can be up to $32,500 in 2026. So what is super catch-up? If you're age 60 to 63, there's a higher catch-up limit, sometimes called super catch-up, and this is $11,250 instead of $8,000. So that means a 60 to 63-year-old could potentially put up to $35,750 into their retirement plan in 2026. This is a powerful opportunity to boost your retirement savings right before retirement. Now let's pause for a moment and go over the Secure 2.0 Act. So the Secure 2.0 Act was passed in 2022, but many of the changes were rolled out slowly. That's why you're seeing new rules show up in 2025 and 2026. The super catch-up that we just talked about started in 2025 and it continues in 2026. But the next rule is the one you're going to really want to pay attention to, especially if this applies to you. And this is the Roth catch-up for high earners. So starting in 2026, there's a major new rule for what are called highly paid individuals, or HPIs. A highly paid individual in 2026 is someone who earned more than $150,000 in 2025 from that same employer sponsoring their retirement plan. So the rule uses your Box 3 Social Security wages from your 2025 W-2 with the employer sponsoring the retirement plan. And so this is the Roth rule. Any catch-up contributions HPIs make in 2026 must be made as Roth. That means after-tax contributions. So if you earned more than $150,000 in the prior year with that same employer, you fall under this rule if you want to make catch-up contributions. So if this applies to you, you can still make catch-up contributions, but they must go into the Roth portion of your plan. Now here's something very important. If your employer's plan doesn't offer a Roth option and you're subject to this rule, you may not be able to make catch-up contributions at all. This is why it's a good idea to check with your HR department or your plan administrator. Roth versus pre-tax. So let's quickly talk about the tax difference. Pre-tax contributions lower your taxable income today, but you pay taxes later when you withdraw the money. Roth contributions are taxed now, but qualified withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. So for high earners, which are the HPIs, the highly paid individuals, the new rule means you lose the immediate tax break on catch-ups, but you gain tax-free growth in retirement. This change can impact your overall tax planning. So it's worth discussing with a tax or financial professional. So 2026 means higher limits, more catch-up space, and a big shift on how high-income earners save and make catch-up contributions. If you're 50 or older, this could be a huge opportunity to save even more for retirement, but with rules that matter for your taxes. So if this video helped you, please give it a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.